everybody plug in. Everybody plug in. This might be a little confusing for some of the younger ones, but listen, you put this in your journal. This is like one of the most important things that I need you to understand. Number one, whenever you grab the racket, all right, the first thing in your mind is, I'm going to hit the ball with the racket. That's the first thing everybody thinks. This is why you see a lot of times, like more club players or little kids, and they swing the racket. We all got to get free, okay? You swing the racket and you do something like this, okay? Because you're supposed to hit the ball with the racket. But I need everybody to understand, okay? Forget about the racket. Forget about the racket. Forget if you're doing a loop, an arc, a rainbow, a banana, a candy cane, a Ferris wheel, letter C, whatever you're doing, ATP, tap the dog, tap the cat, whatever we're talking about. Forget all that. What I want everybody to understand is this. Number one, power. Pay attention. The power comes from the ground. The power comes from the ground. Okay, what I mean by that, this thing right here, the court, the only way to hit the ball correctly from a science point of view, okay, is understanding what we call the kinetic chain. You guys don't need to understand that, but watch. Whenever you hit the ball, you're gonna push on the ground, okay? Now, when people tell you to bend your knees, that's something different. If the ball's low, sure, you're gonna bend. But every time you hit the ball, to get the most power and the most control, you gotta understand what we call the kinetic chain. And it's how to use the ground. We talked about this before, okay? Before you hit the ball, you push on the ground. That means we're loading the system. The body is the system. You're loading up to get power, okay? This is what everybody says. You gotta push down. That's the starting point. Then what happens? As you go to hit the ball, the energy or the power is gonna come up from the ground through your leg. Then what happens as you're gonna do the swing? You're gonna it goes into your hip, then it goes into your shoulder, and it comes out your arm, okay? And it looks at something like this. And you see a lot of club players do something like that, okay? And it's this. You gotta understand, when you hit a tennis ball, it's a rotation. It's a twisting action. It's not an arm action. That has nothing to do with it. Sure, if someone was real tight, then we'd have to loosen them up. But I'm not talking about that. When you hit the ball, it's with the bigger muscles. The body's the car, the racket's you've heard me say that many times. The body, what's gonna happen is, whether you're doing ATP stroke, okay, or you're gonna take the racket somewhere else, okay, it's the same concept, okay? You have to go this, you're gonna come up, I'm doing it in slow motion, this turns, okay, now look where this hip goes, bang. Well, the hip doesn't go bang, but I go bang. Look, the body is gonna pull the racket. The body pulls the racket. The body, look, the body pulls the racket, boom. And this is what happens. But I need everybody, I don't care if you're 6 years old, 10 years old, doesn't matter what age, the parent. You gotta stress to the kids, you play with rotation. Tennis is a twist. Same as hitting a golf ball. It's the same as hitting a baseball. It's a rotation. That's why you see people a little better, especially when they're younger, when they're doing a backhand, because they kind of get this locked in a little bit better, because the two hands keeps them together. Where the forehand can kind of go all over bokeh. Okay, you got to set the racket. The body pulls the racket. The body pulls the racket. It's a pulling action. And then you can go on YouTube, you'll see people say, you get the power from your wrist, and you get the power from your arm, and don't listen to that stuff. If you were tight and you needed to become a looser player, that's a different exercise. I'm just telling you, from a science point of view, the kinetic chain, everybody has to understand, I hit the ball with the bigger muscles, and then it transfers to my arm, boom. Same thing on the serve. It all comes from the ground up through your body, then out your arm. This is very important that, especially all you younger ones, understand it. Because one of the most common mistakes People can feel freer, understandably, if they do a lot more with their arm. But if you watch the people at the highest level, it looks like they're doing it a little different than you see club players and a lot of juniors, because they're playing all with rotation of the body. The power starts where? From the ground. The ground has to be your best friend, okay? You push on the ground pushes back, it comes up your leg, okay? You start to turn the hip, then your trunk, then your arm. But watch my right hip. Watch it. Watch it. Where's my right hip? There. Some of you guys are like this. Bang. You might even bend and you go like this. Watch this. Look, this. That's what should happen. Everybody, put that in your journal, but it's very important. You don't put it in your journal, you look at it every single day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Look at it every day, study it, it becomes in here. And one final thing. How many of you guys are looking at your journal every day studying? I gotta bring this up. It was pretty fascinating. I'm watching a match on Sunday at Indian Wells, or I don't know, Saturday or Sunday. And there's Andreva looking in her journal